Hi everybody. Tonight's live has an agenda actually. First on the agenda is Smugpuppy, then Lainey and Ben, then a bit of a chat about a haunted garage that we visited, Appydroid, the Annabelle project, upcoming events, and a Halloween event what we have got planned. I'll tell you more about that towards the end. Hi Tina, hi Unforgettable, how are you doing? So yeah, a lot of people have been sending me inbox messages and questions, which is why I thought I'd do this live to help explain what's been going on and what's happening. So yeah, Smugpuppy. A lot of people been asking me about Smugpuppy, especially why have I stopped exposing his rubbish videos? Hi Rachel. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Unforgettable. Hi Shandy. Yeah, so although there's like a little bit of agenda, I don't mind answering any questions. If you guys would just want to pop up with a question, just feel free, and I'll respond as best as I can. So yeah, first, people have been asking me about Smugpuppy. They wanted to know why have I stopped exposing them, because they enjoyed the videos that I did. Kind of, I won't say made a deal with Smugpuppy, but on one of his videos, I was commenting and I said, look, if you just put that it is all for entertainment purposes, for our entertainment sort of thing, then I will stop exposing your videos. What, says Shandy? Yeah. So that was the initial thing why I've stopped exposing Smugpuppy. It doesn't mean that I can't talk about him though, because I won't go back on my word unless Smugpuppy decide to take their disclosure down. It was actually a win for PSI that we've been on his case for over a year. I've exposed about 30 of his videos at least. He, as you've seen in his videos that he's made about PSI, James Logan, hi. Why are they called spirits and not souls, since that is what they really are? It's just what they do. We don't necessarily call them spirits or souls. To me personally, I just think if something exists when you die, if your soul, if you like, leaves the body, I would say it's more of an energy. But that's just me. I do try and use, we do try and fit in the scientific explanations where we can. Hello, Patty. So yeah, Smugpuppy. Although I've stopped exposing his videos because we won actually, because he did put in a disclaimer that it is for entertainment, and that is all we wanted. That for us is just him telling us that it is all faked, but we knew that. Everybody knew that anyway. But like I say, it's taken over a year to get Neil from Smugpuppy to put that disclaimer in his videos. I know why he's done it. He did it to get me off his back. Not just me, but Tony as well, because these two of us in PSI, both of us was at his videos. And he claimed we was bullying and things. It wasn't. We just exposing it because it was just rubbish. But there was a lot of gullible people out there that thought it was real. And I know you're not going to believe that, but Smugpuppy's audience is on TikTok. It isn't YouTube. He's got a big following on TikTok. But on TikTok, most of his followers, they're just young kids. It's a younger platform. That is why he aims for TikTok. And he won't put a lot of videos on YouTube because he knows he will get debunked pretty much straight away. So I'm just reading these comments. Rachel's asking, can you tell us more about the investigation you are doing this week? I can, yeah. It was on my list to talk about, but I'll tell you now. It was meant to be at a private residence. You know, you've seen Ricky on the videos, on the lives with us now and again. Yeah, the mods are typing in caps because I can see it better, but I can't see it very well anyway because obviously I've got bad eyes. Yeah, the location on Friday. Hopefully, if Ricky gets back to me with the address, we're all down for doing it. It's Chloe's house. He has been putting videos up on TikTok. Her son, one of her sons, he has got autism, a mild form of autism, and he's coming out with some really strange things. He keeps seeing somebody hanging from the neck, from the ceiling, in different places of the house, and he's sat there talking to people that just are not there. And I know that kids do have imaginary friends, but you know, especially because he's a young child. I think he's about, is he 6? Is it Elliot? I can't remember how old he's. Around about 6. One of the mods will correct me. We've got to look into it. You know, we've got to check it out because he's a child with autism, and not just because he's got autism, but because he's a child and he needs that help. If we can do anything to document what's going on, then yeah, that's what we'll do. But it's not just that. They captured an image. It was like a shadow walking past on the wall, and there was nobody stood up in the house. There was just, I believe it was his sister looking after the house. And she managed to capture that on camera where the image walked past. So that kind of added to this haunting as well. Rachel said, Matt, Tina doesn't have a hair spanner. What does that mean? Does that mean Tina is a mod? Yeah, I won't go into the settings just yet. I'll do it after this. I'll have a look. Hi, Patty. I have to turn my phone on and off. Yeah, so hopefully on Friday, if Ricky gets back to us with this address for this location, we're there. And they wanted us to stream it. They wanted people to see what was going on. Hopefully, we'll capture that on camera. And they wanted to show PSI investigating, you know, doing baseline readings, taking log reports and things like that. Just to show what the other side of investigating is about. Yeah, Tina's saying yes, he is 6. Hello, creepy doll. Mr. Rough Dog, poor kid sounds terrifying. Yes, he's done some drawings as well. And Ricky showed me these drawings. I mean, he's only 6, and it is obviously like little stick men, but there was hanging by the neck. And I'm like, you know, young children shouldn't be drawing things like that. That shouldn't be in his mind. There's something going on. He's either seeing it somewhere, or there's something actually happening. By seeing it somewhere, I mean maybe watching, he's seen somebody with a film on or something. I don't know. Edio Riley, are seriously never going to debunk Smugpuppy anymore? Not at the moment. There's plenty of other people watching him though. Bedo's going to keep an eye out. Because I did actually say to Smugpuppy, if you put a disclaimer in that it is just for entertainment, we'll stop exposing you. And he's done that, so I will stick to my word unless he kind of even removes that disclaimer. I know he's actually done it to get me off his back, because I was pretty relentless when I would just, every video he put out, I was exposing. He puts a lot of them out mainly on TikTok, and I was taking them off TikTok and putting them on YouTube, because if I'd have taken them off YouTube, he would have copyright struck me. He did it with Bedo twice, but he didn't win. Poor little baby, says Patty. Yeah, it needs looking at. We're hoping that Elliot, the small boy, isn't going to be there on Friday. We're hoping it's just going to be Ricky and Chloe. So they're giving us access to the full house, and we're going to stream that, because that's what they've asked us to do. Creepy Doll is saying, I watched your haunted garage video last night. Very interesting things happened in that garage. Yeah. The main reason we went there, I mean, that was on the agenda. It was at the bottom, but I'll talk about it now. 3 different people that worked there had seen an apparition of a man walk through the workshop and disappear. And they're saying he was wearing brown. And that was really relevant, to be honest, because both Tony and I on the night, we saw something at the corner of our eye in the same spot. And it looked like somebody was stood there. To me, it looked like a brown column. It wasn't an exact shape of a person, but Tony said he saw a man. And I said, well, I saw something there. And he said it is exactly the same spot where he saw it. Did you watch the experiment, the PSI method? We may have called it the Gansfeld on the night. I kind of went into trance. It was hard for me to snap out of that. Tina was normally with me on investigations, who's modding now, my partner, who would look out for me if I went too deep into a trance. But obviously Tony couldn't see that because I was blindfolded. But when I took the blindfolds off, I wasn't myself. I couldn't snap out of it. I was kind of in this weird trance. I said to him, next time we do it, we're going to have a spray gun of cold water where he's going to squirt it in my face just to snap me out of it. Eddie O'Reilly, that disclaimer was a cop-out, though. Yeah, I agree. If you look at the disclaimer at the top on his bio description, it says it all about being entertainment purposes, but then underneath, as Beardo pointed out, it kind of says, but I'll leave it to you to, interpret it as what you want. He has done that to get us off his back. I know why he's done it, but I do stand by my word. So Beardo is watching him. He's keeping an eye on him. Although I do believe Smugpuppy will just mainly put them out on TikTok now. So if anybody would like to send any over to Beardo or just send him the link, he can look at it. Creepy Doll. And your camera batteries that kept dying, then coming back. Very strange, yeah. One end of the garage. I mean, you saw how big the place was. It was a massive place. It was all open plan, apart from one small office. Where this sighting of this man was, where we saw this brown thing, in that particular spot, as we approached it, it kept draining batteries in my camera. I was trying to take digital stills, and there were brand new Duracell batteries. It killed them straight away, and that annoys me because Duracell are expensive. But we found out Duracell are pretty much the best, although Aldi do a pretty good battery. Not quite as good as a Duracell, but they're nearly there. If you're in the UK, Aldi's batteries are really good. We use a lot of them, and they're a lot cheaper than Duracell. Creepy. Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, that was very strange. Very strange. We've been looking into the history or some of the things I was saying because I cannot remember what I've said. I watched the footage back and I've been writing it down. I'm looking into what I was saying. Rachel saying, guys, can we just have mods type in caps, please? Tina is a mod, just spanner fell off. Yeah, Tina is a mod. I don't know where a spanner's gone. It's just so I can see. If it's in caps, I can see it if there's a problem or anything. I will. Yeah, I'll have a look at Tina's spanner afterwards. I'll sort that out. That back end of the garage where the spray room was intense. Yeah, it was intense. That room isn't a spray room. That's the actual. It's an oven. They spray outside in like a booth, and they bring the parts in and hang them in the oven. Tony captured an image. That's all I'll say. And he's putting a video up on TikTok. I'll download it off TikTok and put it over onto YouTube for you to have a look at. Mr. Rough Dog, may I ask a question, Mark? Not sure if this is a Q&A. Yeah, just whatever. If I can answer it, I will. Eddie O'Reilly, sorry if I missed it, but have you used your new homemade spirit box yet? The Jules Verne one. Where is it? I can't get up. It's over there. I'm not going to get up because I've just got out the shower and I'm actually just sat in boxer shorts. And you don't want to see that. But the thing is that the laptops we've got need updating. The microphone ports are not working. We are hopefully, Tony's going to bring his laptop this Friday and we're going to plug in that Jules Verne radio, if you want to call it that. It was kind of based, it was inspired by Tesla. Tesla's design, obviously much more smaller. I am hearing impaired, and that portion of you in the chair, the audio was too low for me to hear well. Yeah, I'll try and get the camera closer next time. Sorry about that. If you watch it back, just turn your volume up a bit. But yeah, thanks for mentioning that. We'll try and sort it out. Try and do get a microphone what's Bluetooth to the actual phone. Oh no, Mr. Ruffdog. Yeah, it was an oven. Yeah. Ellie Bell, hello. I saw that image, that face. Yeah, that's the one. Could be pareidolia, but we're going to leave it to you guys to decide what you think. Creepy Doll said, I don't think it was pareidolia. It was too detailed. Yeah, there was quite a lot of detail in there. But if we had to explain it as something other than paranormal, that is what we would say. Pareidolia, because of the bad lighting. Obviously, the pixelation wasn't that good because it was in the dark. Shandy, I'm gonna do a post. Cool. Mr. Ruffdog, thanks, Tina Mark. What was the most, oh my God, paranormal moment you've ever experienced? Too many. I've been investigating for, wow, a long time. As PSI since 2005, but before that I was 18 and I'm nearly 50, dare I say that? So yeah, 31 years. There's quite a lot. I've been involved in a lot of experiments and I've seen quite a lot. I think some of the moments what we've kind of was a bit funny for both Tony and I was we was at an abandoned boarding school, and we don't know, excuse me, don't normally do abandoned places, but loads of other teams are being in, and kids were going in during the day, so we needed to investigate it. It's called Strand. It's on our YouTube page somewhere. Tony's captured a black figure walking past the door. You know when it goes real heavy and it just feels bad. Tony and I separate on a location. We don't stay together. We separate to cover more area, and we're in touch with two-way radios all the time. And the atmosphere changed completely. It felt evil, and we both kind of found each other again, and we didn't split up, and we didn't say anything to each other until we got out the building. I said, look, it felt a bit rough that I did not want to walk away and leave you or be by myself because it felt bad. And I've got a lot of photographs. I don't know if I've put them in a video. Every photograph I took, there's a black mass in the way. And Tony did exactly the same thing on his camera. So it's not a camera fault. We debunked it as not being a camera fault. I'd say that was one of the most, what didn't feel too good. There's been a lot. There's been a lot of being at Skidbrook Church, which is nicknamed the Demon Church. We had a voice. I mean, it's in the middle of, any guys that are watching now who are being, it's in the middle of nowhere. There was a voice in the church shouting, "Get out." And we both, did you hear that? Both had body cams on. We tell this story all the time. Both body cams and hand cams caught each other's reactions. And we went over to try and find out where this voice was coming from. We couldn't find it. But the same night I captured a head going past the window. There was no glass in it. Went out, there's nothing there. It was really strange. Hang on. Creepy doll. No, just be so extension. No. Old and broken. I feel the same. Shandy, can I say you're streaming in your boxes? Yeah, if you want. At least I've got them on. Tina had to find me some. I couldn't find what I'd done with them. Sage the kangaroo, hello. Maybe can I look into the history of the area? Which area? We've got a history on both the areas I was talking about. Like I say, the old boarding school. It was in the 1800s. Back then, that there was schools were very different and kids were treated differently. But I mean, yeah, Mr. Rough Dog. Wow, interesting. These are just a few what are coming to mind. There's absolutely loads. Eddie O'Reilly, you should do a live stream Q&A together with Beardo, Purple, Mr. Grey. Would be awesome. Any plans? I have emailed Beardo. We kind of keep missing each other, like ships in the night. Although he does get my emails, and I get his, it's kind of maybe a month late because we both have these emails. What are linked to YouTube? What we don't actually use. I use a personal one. I should maybe email him my personal email. Yeah, we should do that and have a chat. It'd be cool. Was it a shadow figure? The figure what walked past the like the doorway. We looked straight outside, and straight outside was about 6 foot deep in bramble bushes. It was like thorns, so there's no way a person could have walked there. It looked like just like a black silhouette. So if you want to say a shadow figure, yeah. That would be good, Eddie. Yeah, it would be good. I know a lot of you guys obviously talk to Bedo. You should mention it to him to have a chat with us. Yeah, I know it feels like shouting when it's in caps, but it's so I can see them. Mr. Rough Dog, Mark, what sparked your interest in the paranormal? Any particular event or just curiosity? Bit of both. My earliest memory of the paranormal, and it's one of the only memories I've got at this age. I was 4 years old. Laid in bed. Back then, it was different to what it is now. When you used to go to bed on a Sunday early because it was school the next day, you had your bath and went to bed. My mum took us up, and at the time, I used to share a room with my elder brother, Mike. I just had problems since then. I could see all sorts of things. There's a side of me what you guys don't know. I'm heavily involved. I used to be with a spiritualist church. I used to do trance mediumship and all sorts. But I kind of moved over to the investigating because I found out it was helping people. If I was going around to private homes and that I could help them. I was seeing things. Yeah, I could see faces and heads floating around the bedroom pretty much every night. Every time my mum turned the light out, and she said, "You imagining it? You're having nightmares." I said, "No, I'm not even asleep." But I didn't know. Like obviously, my mum, she's tarot reader, and she had a lot of weird things happen to her as she was pregnant with me. She used to see. This is where the shadow man comes from. You won't believe that it was actually PSI that started it off. She used to see a figure stood in the corner of the room while she was going through a pregnancy with me. It was black, with a black flat. I don't know what hats you call them. But I later found out, it was only last year I found out, there used to be an Undertaker's at the end of the street. And it was knocked down and it was weird. I hated that house as a child. I mean, it was a loving home with a family, but it was so active. That's the earliest memory anyway. But ever since then, I've just been reading and researching and investigating. And I don't know if you know, but at the minute, I'm now involved with the Warren Legacy Foundation for Paranormal Research. I'm a member of those. That if there's any hauntings what come their way from the UK, it'd probably be me that got involved with it. Tony's just going through his meetings now with Chris. Bath and school in the morning. Ugh, yeah, do you remember those days? Last live with Bedo, we mentioned something like doing group live or something. I guess finding a good time that suits everyone is a hard thing. Yeah, I don't know Bedo's work hours. I'm up early every morning. I'll email Beardo and see if he gets it, and I'll let you guys mention it to him as well. I'll leave him my personal email, and that way it pops up on my phone. I see it all the time then, rather than trying to check a Gmail. You used to have a Sunday bath and an early night too. It was a thing, wasn't it, on a Sunday? Because for us it was school the next day. When we was growing up as children, our family never had much money. You know, we was the type of family that if we were getting new clothes, there was actually hand-me-downs from the older generation. So having grown up with no money, we've never really been bothered about money. It sounds strange, doesn't it? It's one of those things. We was quite happy with what we had. We was one of those types of family. We still are. Bit more money now. You must have been scared, says Patty. Very rarely. I won't deny it that you do feel a bit of fear, even though being well, yeah, as a child I was scared, but as you grow up, you're doing it all the time. You're still on edge, but it's a lot easier to handle. Mr. Roughdog, I'm 41 and still have a gloom feeling on Sundays. That school in the morning feeling. Yeah, I feel like that for work. I'm 49. LOL, Mr. Roughdog saying me, I guess it's universal Sunday evening sadness. Yeah. Eddie O'Reilly, feeling pain with hand-me-downs. I was the youngest and never got anything new, even my school uniform. Yeah, we went through that. It was a struggle back then for money for my parents, and coming from it's a family of 6, but there's 4 kids, so we was happy with whatever we had. To be honest, we was happy just being out and playing with our friends. It's not like that nowadays. I was just looking at the agenda. I was just going to mention some other things. The haunted garage, somebody also had mentioned. We are going through the footage. There's a lot of footage because we had quite a few cameras running. Like I say, Tony's putting a short video together from his footage. I've yet to go through my hand cam to have a look at it. But yeah, see what's in there. My trail cam did actually capture some shadowing on the wall. I'm not sure what's created that, so I'm still looking into that. Rachel's an only child, so never experienced that. Yeah. You're a bit younger than us though, Rachel. Appydroid's ghost box. Did you see on the live last Friday that I was using that? Where did I put it? I don't know if Appydroid's going to see this, but I said when I was on camera I'd show it. Appydroid, I don't know if that's the right way around. Is it backwards to you guys? If you search him he's on YouTube, but he's got an Etsy shop. He said, if I send you this ghost box, will you test it out? He said, you don't have to leave any reviews or anything. But no, I thought it's kind enough to send it. Didn't charge us. The good thing about this one, I think he said it's £45. That one, it's got his name on it, look, Appydroid. It's got 2 different kind of frequencies in the FM range. FM 1 is 87 to 108. And that's not on the PSB 7s. The PSB 7s, sorry, it's not. The PSB 7s are 87 to 108. This one goes lower. It goes from 64 to 87 as well. You know, that's below the normal ghost box range for FM. And if you saw it, we was getting quite a few things through on this. It's also got 9 other channels. It's got shortwave and AM, and its sweep rate is phenomenal. It's really quick, or as slow as you want. At the live on Friday, we was getting a lot of. It was built on an old bingo hall, I think Tony said, and there was lots of numbers coming through on it. I don't know if you remember hearing that. We just saying the numbers. I thought, what's coming up with all these numbers for? What was that pink thing that dropped, Eddie O'Reilly? It was the handle off. It goes on some glasses here for eyebrow shapers, and you hold it. We still don't know where that's come from. We have no idea. We've asked around. We've asked Tony's sister because his parents are now deceased. I have no idea where that came from. You heard it drop in the background. I went to pick Ricky up on Sunday to bring him to Tony's just to do the lab. And I was questioning Ricky. I said, I know Tony didn't throw it, and I know I didn't throw it. Did you throw it? He was sat next to me, and he had his hands full. He couldn't have thrown it, but I had to ask him. And he said, funny enough, you're asking me that. Did you throw it? Because he thought we was messing about or trying to catch him out. I said, no, we didn't throw it, but that's how it makes you. Tony's secret is out. Hello, Lisa. Oh, Mr. Roughdog, Mark, of all the places on earth, what would be your dream place to investigate paranormal? Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, there's quite a few places in America. Waverly Hills, I think I'd have to go to. Me and Tony was talking about going to America to do the Gettysburg battlefields. Don't know if we're going to, but that was the plan. Yeah, the Queen Mary's at QE2. That's in America as well. Quite a few places. It'd be really cool if I could get hold of the original Annabelle dolls to do some experiments with. I'd love that. So yeah, if you get a chance, go check Appydroid out. There's his stuff, look. And tell him PSI sent you. Annabelle, honestly, I thought about Ricky at some point too, but I don't think so. No, we don't. I had to question him. He questioned me, which I expect. I was sat right next to him. Although the lights were off, I could see him because he had a notepad and a pen in his hand. He's writing away. And as it was dropped, I was mentioning our YouTube channels just to people to take a look because we was doing it on TikTok. And obviously Tony was blindfolded with e-defenders on and he was facing the front. So yeah, we don't know how that got there. That is weird. Have I ever been to, how do you say that? Speak Hall? That is creepy. No, whereabouts is that? Will they let us in? Or will we have to kind of buy our way in? Hi, Nikki. I'm going to write these down. I'm not standing up. Pomeroy Castle. It depends how far away in the UK these are from us as well. I think the furthest we've travelled was to the ancient Ramin. That was about 5.5 hours from where we are. Whereabouts is Pomeroy Castle? Tina says, I'm going to be busy if I go to America. Yeah, I know what you're saying with that, Tina. Pretty much everywhere's haunted in America, apparently. Is it? Oh, Devon. I'll write it down. You never know. I put my Shiba Inu puppy back in his cage. He sounded like a gremlin. What was that other one? I've lost it. Liverpool. Hall. I think Liverpool's about, when we get there in about 2.5 hours to 3 hours. I'm just writing this down and I'll look into it. Because Tony texts Liz, but he forgets. You'd think England would be more haunted than America because technically we're an older country. The Martles Plantation says creepy doll if you were and you came. That's one on your bucket list. Are you in America, Creepy Doll? Plantation. I'm just writing these down. Hi, Beardy Weedy. Is Beardo in? I didn't see it. Oh, hello, Beardo. Yeah, Beardo, these guys are asking me to come and do a live with you. Are you up for that? I need to send Beardo my other email address because I don't monitor the Gmail account very much, the one what's linked to YouTube. Is it Beardo's birthday? Happy birthday, Beardo. Creepy Doll, California. I don't suppose you've heard of Harvey Alphaeus in California. I've been friends with him for years on Facebook. He does a lot of like remote viewing. He's been on TV quite a lot as well. Oh, it's tomorrow, Beardo. Absolutely, says Beardo. It just by request, Beardo, people have been asking if we was going to do some sort of live chat or something. Yeah, good to see you here supporting good guys, says Beardo. What was that name again? Harvey Alphaeus. I forget what American TV show he's been on a few times. I cannot remember. I'm friends with him. He's invited me over quite a few times. We've been invited by loads of different Americans. So I don't know if you saw the quick video that I put up earlier about the Philip experiment and the Annabelle project. Oh, you've not heard of him? Okay. Now, if you don't know what the Philip experiment is, the quickest thing to do is Google it. Pretty much a group of scientists in the 70s were involved with alleged psychics, shall I say, or mediums, got together over the space of a few years, created this fake story of somebody called Philip, and they got together and was doing like seances and things like that, trying to get something to manifest, just to prove that your energy can create a ghost, and it wasn't working. So they changed it. We were doing it in daylight and things, so they changed it and made it all real spooky. Turned the lights out, lit candles, made it all kind of Victorian seancey, and things started manifesting. And this ghost started answering to these questions as if it was Philip, but it was a made-up story. So we're going to kind of use that method, but focus that energy on a doll. The doll was it. Well, it is one of our mods made it. Babs, I don't think she's in tonight. She's not very well, and it's a replica of the Annabelle doll. And we're going to use the Annabelle story. We're going to take this doll with us, and we're going to different haunted locations and see if things happen because we're using the story and the doll. It's going to be us and people with us manifesting this energy for something to happen involving this doll. Sounds a bit confusing, I know, but one of our theories is that different types of energy from the human being manifest like paranormal activity. And I've done a video, it's years back on the YouTube page, where I was in I think it was called Bongo nightclub, something like that. No, it was the Lamb Bar. I told a group of women the story that about the building collapsing and killing 20 people, and I think there was a child or two involved as well getting killed, and all sorts of things started happening, and we documented that. I do believe fear is one of the main energies used to manifest this type of energy. Sorry, I was waffling on a bit. Just reading these comments. Mr. Rough Dog, Matt, do you have a preferred method or device I use when investigating? PSI are all about evidence, so I would have to say video camera, sound recordings. We are pretty much old school, not just because we're old, but we write down logs and all sorts, times, you name it. We're not ghost hunters, we are actually investigators. We are friendly, hospitable people. Hi, Akari. Sarah says, hi, no idea how long this has been going on. I'm always late. Happy birthday. Beardo says, hi, spirits. Yeah, how old are you tomorrow, Beardo? Do you mind me asking? Annabelle, oh my God, that's sad. Accidents like that leave residual energies behind. Possibly. If that's the case, so we like to detect those type of energies with equipment. Obviously, I can feel like it feels a bit heavy in there. I've got to prove that by documenting it somehow. So that is what we are about, really, documenting things. 42. You're 42 tomorrow, or 43 tomorrow. Yeah, I'm a bit older than you, then, Beardo, just a bit. Did any of you see that doll? What Babs, the moderator, made? The link is under the video. If you go have a look, she's really good at making things like that. She does like memory bears and that, you know, where they put, you don't have to have ashes in, but if you wanted your loved one's ashes in them, she puts it in and all sorts. "42 tomorrow, don't age me." Yeah, just looking at this agenda list, what people have been asking me. Any upcoming visits? Yeah, Friday, hopefully, if Ricky gets in touch, what we've already spoke about. His partner Chloe has got an autistic son. I think she's got 2 children, but one of them's autistic. Elliot is only 6. He's been seeing somebody hanging from the neck from the ceiling. He's been drawing pictures. Ricky was showing us these pictures. He'd taken a photograph and shown me them. And he sits in the bedroom. We videoed him just talking to himself, or not to himself as such, but somebody as if they're there. And he's shouting, "Go away, get away," and all that sort of thing. When there's young children involved, we have to take note and investigate and hopefully help and see what's going on. I need one of those. Where can I find the link? If you go on this page somewhere, I've just done a video. It's called The Annabelle Project. If you look in the description of that video, there's 2 links. There's Barbara's Facebook page and Etsy page. Just contact her and tell her PSI sent you. She looks small though and cute. Yeah, there's 3 different sizes of Raggedy Ann doll. This one is the middle size, what we've been made, because the bigger one's about 3 foot, and we didn't want to carry that everywhere with us. But this is the one getting involved in the experiment. It's pretty cool. Pretty much identical to the real one, even down to the clothing. Apart from the hair, Barbara put some pigtails in, which we don't mind. It looks different, and the eyes are closed. Yeah, it's cool. That's the middle size one. He's a bigger one. I don't know what she charges. She made this for us for the experiment. So if you want one of those, contact Barbara. Bab says, thanks for mentioning the doll. I don't think I'd like to be 42 again. You know, I've had a few bad experiences down there. That poor boy must be, yeah. We'll see what's going on. We'll find out what's going on. We're going to live stream it because they've requested that. they want you to see us investigating, and if anything happens at all while we're there, then at least you can witness it. Annabelle? No, we've got to stick with Annabelle because it's to go with this story, this experiment that we're doing. So we have to be as close as we can to the original because we're using the original Annabelle story, and it's nothing like the film, by the way. I've spoke to Chris McKennell, who's the grandson of the Warrens, because I'm in the Warren Foundation. I'm an investigator for them as well. That looks terrifying. All dolls are terrifying. I don't think that one looks that bad, to be honest. I don't like clowns. Clowns freak me out. I can manage spirits or demons any day over clowns. I'm 41. The years 30 to 40 went in a blink. Yeah. I think in my 20s, that went in a blink. I spent pretty much every night in nightclubs and getting drunk. Google a baby laughs a lot doll. That is a doll I'm looking for to add to my creepy doll collection. She's way creepy. I was looking at some videos to debunk on YouTube. Who was it I found? I can't remember the names now. And there's like a peekaboo doll. What they use, it must have some sort of motion sensor on it. And when it's triggered, it covers its eyes. Then when it lasts for so many seconds, and its hands move again back up. And when something triggers it, it keeps covering its eyes. I was looking for one of those. I had the feeling that they may have been using string on this doll, invisible thread to pull it, just to make the video a bit more exciting, I think. Mr. Rough Dog sounds like a well-spent 20s to me. Yeah. That was a nightmare for my parents in my 20s. It just gets faster as you're more time behind you, yes. Mr. Rough Dog, I don't want her to come after me, though, says Annabelle. Annabelle, am I saying that correct? Paranormal TSPI. The Conjuring films aren't realistic. No, not at all. The Annabelle doll you see on the films doesn't even look like that. It looks like it's this one. This is what the real Annabelle doll looks like. It's a Raggedy Ann doll. It's not that creepy looking porcelain doll on the films. No, it's not. And the story's even different. I was talking to Chris about it, which is the Warren's grandson. And he said it's completely different. Obviously, it's Hollywood. It's a film. Don't get me wrong. I didn't mind watching it. Did the Warren Museum shut down? Yes, it has. 2019, I think it was. I don't know exactly what was going on. I read a few different things. The main one being they were operating as a museum, but it was actually a house. And I don't know if there's some law against that in America. Is it different to the UK? I don't know. Yeah, but it's closed for now. I think they're looking for new premises to move all the stuff to. I guess there's a drama effects added in the movies, so not 100% real. No, it's loosely based. It's loosely based on that story. Do I hold any credibility for the Warrens? Yeah. Yeah. I know Ed used to say quite a lot, everything was a demon. I'd like to examine, the footage and that what they got. I can understand why he would say that. I do think they certainly are pioneers, though. People do actually owe quite a lot to them, and they did try and help a lot of people. I think they were generally good people, yeah. Made a peekaboo doll in 73. I found one on sale. She worked with a pull string. Yeah. the footage I saw, when they turned it over, it took batteries. It was double A's. So I'm presuming they've altered it and added something to it. However, this doll was in the bathroom and they were about 30, 20 feet away. So if they was going to pull a string, it would have to be invisible thread. American laws are so difficult to get around. Yeah, I thought it'd be different to what it's like here. That place on Long Island. Yeah, I'm sure that's where it is, isn't it? Amityville. They didn't own Amityville. No, they investigated Amityville. The way the looks is, yes. There was a couple of families had it since then. I think it went up for sale again. If you had the money, you would be tempted to buy that place. Yeah, they just investigated it. I mean, back then, when that was in the 70s, they didn't have the equipment then what we have now. So I think it would be a lot different now if it was investigated. I'd be too scared to go in there. No, you only live once. I'd do it. I'd go in. That rings a bell. That creepy doll. Yeah. Somebody asked me about Halloween as well. While I'm here, I need to talk about Halloween. They've changed those windows that look like eyes to make it look different, and none of the other residents have had any paranormal activity. You know, I can't remember the fine detail, but it didn't. He went round and shot all his family with was it a rifle or a shotgun? I think it was a rifle. And he claimed that the voices or the devil was in his head and telling him to do it. And obviously, he got arrested and there was dead. And another family eventually moved in. I think they had issues and they moved out. But ever since then, I've never heard any reports. The rules of hauntings that the Warrens invented were very spot on. The rules. Which rules are you talking about? Would I live in a house where a mass murder happened? I don't think I'd like to live in it because I know I'd have issues. But I certainly would investigate it, yeah. You would live there on your own? No, I wouldn't live in Amityville. I'd own it. If you had the spare money, you'd buy it, wouldn't you? You'd be able to, if you own that property, you could charge a fortune for people to come there. It'd be a good little earner. Yeah, I heard he was heavily into drugs when he shot them. Your imagination gets the better of you. It does that with everybody. When we're at haunted location, we get a lot of corner of the eye phenomena. It's your peripheral vision. You know, when you think you've seen something, you've got a feeling. Well, somebody's told you a story about this place being haunted, so you're already going with that in your head. You've got expectations. You've kind of primed yourself. So your mind's always, well, it's already telling you that there's something there, even though you don't know. It's your subconscious mind. So when you go, your mind does play tricks where you've really got to work hard to get around that when you're there. It's why we generally don't ask anything before we go anywhere. But somebody contacts us straight away and say, "Oh, this has happened in my house. Can you come round?" Then obviously we already know about it. Yes, and the feeling of being watched, I hate it. Yeah, generally don't go by yourself. I'd always take somebody with you. I've always got Tony with me, even though we're not in the same part of the building at the same time. We're always on a radio to each other. Rachel is saying the way paranormal shows make it out on TV, every other home in America is haunted. Yeah, somebody's always got a haunted basement. Mr. Rough Dog. Sorry, I've asked too many questions. Don't mean to spam the chat. No. You ask away. Apparently, Amateurville is very calm now. That's what I've heard. Shandy's saying, I noticed that when I used to talk about ghosts a lot with a friend, he saw more stuff. Yeah. Again, this is coming to this experiment, what we're doing with this Annabelle doll. You get that into your head, you can start manifesting things, especially if there's a few of you that are feeling the same way as well. The brain on your conscious mind can work against us. It can. You kind of get as well when you're in a haunted location, when there's just one or two of you, you always end up facing that fight or flight moment as well. Do I stay or do I go kind of thing. I think in the years I've been investigating, I've only ever left twice, and I've been investigating a long time. I always try and stay because you want to get that evidence on camera. Creepy doll saying, Rachel and the walls are painted dark, drab colours until the house is cleansed and the ghosties are gone. Then it's lighter and brighter. I can't even pronounce your name. Sorry if I get it wrong. Akariku, is that correct? When I used to do night shifts, if I did too many in a row, my eyes would play tricks on me. Yeah, tired. You're tired. Paranormal TSPI. I believe most homes have spirits in them. I definitely think most homes have energy in them. Have you ever seen a ghost of Carmel, Maine? No. I thought it was Airbnbs that were haunted, says Shandy. Creepy doll. I worked in an assisted living home. I'm still waiting to see our resident ghost, an old man in a black and white flannel shirt. You'll find that when you're looking for it, you won't see it. It's when you're not expecting it. That's when things happen. There's freeze now too. Oh, they added freeze to it, Shandy. Fight, flight, and freeze. Well, I'm a bit older than that. It was pretty much fight or flight. It's been debunked by Mr. Gray, right? Carmel, Maine's been debunked by Mr. Gray. What typically happens in a blessing? Have I done many? I've been involved in a few blessings, yes. Depends. If they've called the church, obviously it's either a last resort or they're a religious family. Generally, they'll go around with a priest, do like prayer, blessings, take some anointing oil or holy water and do it above the doorway. Bless every room individually. Kind of work your way from upstairs downwards. Have all the windows open, and then get the families to do like this prayer thing or blessing with you. It depends. I've been involved in a few different ones, religious ones, where it's involved a short mass service. So yeah, it's different. I've also been involved in the American Indian ones, the smudging and chant and things. Also being involved with a bit of voodoo and hoodoo, or not involved as such, but I know about it because there's all kinds of things. Mark Vernon, I was looking to see a partial apparition on Sunday night in an abandoned pub in Wakefield. I will not be going back on my own. Mark Vernon, whereabouts is this? Can you send us the location? Wakefield's not that far from us, I don't think. they're successful. It has been successful, doesn't always work. There's been a pattern over the years, the investigations I've done at private houses. One thing, what a lot of them have in common, the majority, like 95% of them, there was all having bad times where there was arguing. After doing a lot of research and these type of investigations, you find that this arguing creates a negative atmosphere. You know, when you walk into a room, you say, "Oh, you could cut the atmosphere with a knife." It's that type of thing. But if you leave that and it continues and continues, it manifests into, it could probably attract some other negative energy in the area. Negative attracts negative, doesn't it? The only way to stop that type of thing is stop bloody arguing. This is what I tell the families as well. And it'll be all right for about a week because they've stopped arguing and they understand and they thought, oh yeah, it's real good now. Then they start arguing again. People argue. It's a natural thing. But you've got to make up. And I say this to these families. And as soon as they do make up, it stops. And then I get a phone call again a few weeks later. Can you come back? It's back again. So yeah, are you two okay? Well, yeah, actually we've been arguing again. So there you go. These are pattern. These are what most hauntings are created by the living, basically. Creepy doll. Religious ones successful. Some of them have been, yes. But like I say, a house that I lived in, priest couldn't shift it. We ended up moving. It was a nightmare for me for about 3 years. I lived with it. I would wake up and I could see this upper part of a body just floating, levitating on above the bed. Partner at the time would sit up, looked at me, and her eyes were black. It wasn't her. And I went to punch her. It was just a response, not because it was my partner, but it wasn't her. And it was just that kind of like that fight or flight moment when you're either going to run or you're going to attack. I went into attack mode and I had to stop myself. Yeah, it was a terrible house. Priest come in, made the priest ill. It made me ill. We just left. We left the house. We sold it. I don't know if they've had any more problems. Oh, sorry, creepy doll. I wonder what would happen if Lee's spirit box told him to give himself a holy water enema since the drinking of it didn't work. I saw that video, and I saw Parple had done something on it. He'd done a bit of research on it. And the thing is, Lee hadn't been to a church at all. If he had mentioned that to a church, there'd have been an investigation. The thing is with Lee, from, as you call, Really Haunted, my house is it really haunted? He's all after views and money, basically, from YouTube. That's what it's about. We all know he fakes it. It's been debunked loads of times. We've done a few of his videos with debunked, so has Beardo. Mr. Grey as well, I think, in the share. It's the British Oak Pub in... Oh, I'm going to write this down. I'll just write this down. Can we get in? Obviously, we do not want to break into a property. British Oak Pub. Stanley. Aberford Road. Right, we'll look into that. That'd be cool. Did you get a video of that, by the way? You said you saw a partial apparition. Beardo saying the church actually told Lee to pack it in. Yeah, it's not as easy as what Lee said to get a church involved. It really isn't. Church is a last resort. Has to be a certain type of church as well. Wish I could experience something just once, says Mr. Rough Dog. You got to get yourself involved. Ever seen an apparition as per se? Seen a shadow figure many times in the house I grew up in, says Creepy Doll. Yeah, he did a good debunk on it. He had like a big thermos cup and said the vicar put it in that for me. That was a load of rubbish. I thought, if he has gone into church, he's probably just dunked his cup in. But I wouldn't do that either. That water's been there for a while, even though it's like Purple says, they anoint it. The not just salt, they put oils in it as well. Depending, it depends what sort of church it was. But certainly, he hasn't been to church. He's just making it up. You can hear these sounds of the overlays, Mr. Ruff. Yeah. Beto saying, don't mention break-ins. People get mad about that stuff. Yeah, we don't break in. We have gone into abandoned buildings, but only by request, by people that live nearby, because kids are playing in there and things, or by, I'll give you an example. Our rectory field, that's abandoned, or part of it is, but we've been given permission there's actually airsoft in what goes on there, and they obviously give us permission to go in there. What's the process for getting a blessing? I don't imagine you could access one as quick as Lee says. No, it's not that quick. You'd have to go to the church. You'd have a chat with the vicar, or even the safeguarding officer, and you just mention what's going on. You'd have to show them some kind of proof, I think. I know what Purple was saying about the tap water, that it was, they do actually bless the tap water. The water that goes into the font comes out of the tap. That's all it is. Holy water is something that's had a blessing done by either a priest or a lay person, and it could have holy oil in, and the oil comes from the Vatican, and also you get blessed salts, what they use. It helps the water last a bit longer, but I wouldn't have drank it. If that was genuine holy water, I would not have drank that, because it's in the font as well. It's had a few babies' heads in there as well. Yeah, some of that holy water's being in the church for, it could be weeks. It has an open window, says Matt Vernon. Okay, right. Mr. Rough Dog saying, leaves a bottle of Spirit Bang to get rid of a ghost. Yeah, I think Beardo's got some special spray, haven't you, Beardo? Is it called Piss Off Spray? Piss Off Ghost or something like that. So the holy water, you can actually get some from Rome, what's been blessed by the Pope. Where is it? Tony's got some from the Holy Chalice Well as well. My holy water, I've got some from the Holy Trinity near me, and I've also got some from Jerusalem. It's from the Holy Land, from the church, what now covers the alleged burial spot of Christ. You don't get scared. Mark, you are involved in the church, aren't you? Yes, very much so. I am studying with the church. I'm not ordained, but I do quite a lot with the church. I can do funerals. I take part in the Holy Mass on Sundays. I do readings to the congregation. I'm the safeguarding officer. I'm doing theological training with the church. I'm a Eucharistic minister. I do quite a bit. I do hear quite a few stories being a safeguarding officer when people are coming in and saying that they're being attacked by demons sexually. Got to take that seriously. Piss Off Ghost Spray, that's what it's called, right? Annabelle, I'm a Catholic and blessings don't go this way. Trust me, it's a process of multiple levels and acts. The church I'm in is the Church of England, but we're a high church and we do Catholic service. By high church, what I mean by that, it's all the bells and whistles, all the smoke, all the robes and everything. We get really involved with the bishops and everything. Shannon saying, imagine if you were churchgoer, you get involved with the church quickly, being part of the church community helps. I could probably do a lot of it myself, to be honest, because I can do blessings. But yeah, I could. The vicar is a good friend of mine. I could have a chat with him if I needed to. Being part of the church community helps. Yeah, but the church is there for everybody. It's not just the community of the church. People that live in the area that don't visit church every Sunday or every Tuesday or whenever they go, even if you're not religious, the church is always there for you if you need help. I know in the years the church has had some bad press, but it's not like that. Honestly, it's not where I am anyway. It's all good. Mark says, Mark Vernon, I'm banned from York Minster for what I filmed in the crypt. They tried to ban my video. What did you video? I love hearing about the church. Reminds me of my nan. I don't know much about it, but it sounds interesting. Yeah, I like it. A lot of people don't, but I am religious, so there you go. Yeah, Bedo, get that piss off ghost spray on your merch store. You got dipped in Lords when you was a kid. Excellent. Shandy, really, Mark? Yeah, which bit, really? Andy, the Annabelle experiment is the premises to raise a thought out you can monitor. We raise a thought out you can monitor. Everything will be documented what we do with that, the Annabelle experiment. We're keeping it as close as to the Annabelle story as we can, just because it's already there. It is a real story. Obviously, this isn't the real doll. This is just a replica. But we're going to keep doing it like they did in the Philip experiment, but involving an object rather than just doing seance or things like that. Mr. Wolfdog, I thought so. I knew a vicar who said this sort of thing was fringe and specialist. Yeah, I can also do last rites. You know, when somebody's dying. Got to leave the weddings though for the vicar until I get ordained. You mean the likes of it helps my mum big time? Oh, right, cool. All right, okay. Sorry, wrong mark. I'm not a religious person, but respect all people's beliefs and found them interesting to learn about. Yeah, works for me. It took me years to find faith. It took a long time. So anyway, Halloween. I know it's a long time away, but you've got to think about these things. We are allowed now to talk about our Halloween event. Both Tony and I generally just do it by ourselves because we don't like people joining the team on a location, to be honest. We have got to know where these people are because if there's any noise, we need to know that it's not them doing it. This is why there's just two of us. We have hired a place in... Oh, God, where is it? What town is it in? The Old Nick. Tina, where is it? What town is it? The Old Nick, just over the bridge. I need to get to sleep, I think. Yeah, the Old Nick Theatre. We've been there once before. It is actually upstairs is an old courtroom, which is used as a theatre nowadays. But downstairs is a lot of the old prison cells, Victorian prison cells. There's 3 wings. The prison cells are still there. There was suicides and murders in that prison. One of the videos, I captured some sort of apparition in a mirror in the next room. You have to check it on our YouTube somewhere. So we want to go back, and we're going to take the Annabelle experiment with us, and also the PSI method, which is shortened version of the Gansfeld. We're allowed 8 people. There's already 4, and that 8 includes the 2 Tony and I as well, which are the investigators. So there's room for 4 more, and we will have to charge people £30 because we've had to hire it for the night. Halloween night's a lot to hire as well. So I'm just putting that out there. Anybody that lives not that far from the Old Nick Theatre, we're going to be going live there as well. We're going to do lots of experiments, what you see us do on lives normally. Yeah, same here. I'm a skeptic and atheist. I am also a skeptic, believe it or not. We are not trying to prove ghosts exist. This is what we tell people. We are here to document whatever happens. We don't want to prove to you ghosts exist because we're on the fence anyway. We've seen things and we've documented things. But I'm with you on that one, yeah. People do get the wrong impression of us. We're not trying to prove ghosts exist at all. We just explain or try to explain what's going on and like I said, document it. The best way to be, Mr. Rough Dog, is to ask questions. We don't know everything. Like I said, we always say we don't have all the answers, but we've got an answer. Gainsborough, Tina, you got it. Anybody live near Gainsborough? Halloween, we've got room for 4 more people. So it's going to be a cool night. That is from 8 o'clock till midnight. That's all the little letters have it for 4 hours. I just thought I'd mention that because it's obviously, what month are we in now? June. It's 4.5 months away. It's not long, really. But yeah, I mean, at the minute, there's Tony and I, Chloe and Ricky. There's 4 of us. So yeah, we've got room for 4 more. And I know a lot of you do your own kind of thing on Halloween, but it's there. But you'll have to let us know as soon as, because once people find out we're doing that place, they'll snap it up straight away. Anyway, I've learned quite a lot of you guys. I've got some locations to check out. British Oak Pub. 70 odd miles for you. It's about an hour's drive from where we are, just over an hour. I'm not sure how many miles it is. Tina probably correct me. Is it about 45, something like that? 45 miles away. Like I say, we've done it before. It's a really interesting place as well. If you watch the videos, I think we've got 3 videos on of the Old Nick Theatre, which is the Victorian prison. There's knocks and bangs from the prison cell. There's only me and Tony in the building, and neither of us was near the cells at the time. Mr. Rough Dog, 140 up for me. North Shropshire, Wales borders. Oh, you're not far from Beardo then. You're on the other side of the globe, Ellie Bell. Thing is, if you can't come, it doesn't matter because we're going to live stream it. Hopefully get a signal in the prison part because it is kind of basement level. As long as we can get through. I think they've got Wi-Fi there. We'll pinch the Wi-Fi off them. Yeah, so I'm just reading this. I think we've gone through all the questions, what everybody was asking us through Messenger. Yeah. Oh, I just need to mention as well. I think is Beardo still here? Beardo, we've been asked to keep an eye out on Smugpuppy, and Smugpuppy are getting a bit clever. They're only kind of putting videos out on TikTok because they know you're not on TikTok, and we've stopped debunking them or exposing them. Yeah, Rachel saying, don't forget to go leave a like, please, guys. Keep tapping, giving the thumbs up. Yeah. I think you asked the question before, Beto, why wasn't we getting copyright striked? I think the reason is because I was taking his videos from TikTok and uploading them onto YouTube. So he would have to prove that, which was a bit harder than pinching his YouTube videos. It wasn't to pinch him, it's just to expose him because he's such a con man. But yeah, I've mentioned that I hope Beardo keeps watching and continues to expose him, and hopefully get him to admit it all once and for all, even though we've got him to admit it was for entertainment purposes. And Lainey and Ben, I just wanted to say, I mean, I've left Lainey and Ben alone, to be honest. I know that they was going through a bit of a rough patch with a marriage. So even though Ben has stopped putting paranormal videos on, he started just kind of talking about other people's videos. And he put one up about us and Smugpuppy. But he kind of was chopping bits out what he wanted people to see to make us look bad. And I know he did this with Beardo as well. He made Beardo look bad, or he tried to. And the reason he's doing this is because a while back we did debunk, both Tony and I debunked Lainey and Ben's videos, were two of them. And I don't think he ever got over that. Rachel Thompson, Smugpuppy a fake. Oh my God, I thought he lived in the world's most haunted house. Yeah. But Lainey and Ben, well, Ben, it's not Lainey, it's Ben. He's chopping parts from video. He put none of my video in explaining and showing Neil from Smugpuppy being aggressive, using foul language and things like that. He never put that in because he wanted us to look bad, and he wanted Beardo to look bad because we're the ones that have debunked him. The reason why, like I said, why Ben has stopped putting paranormal videos on is because there's too many people on his videos now exposing him. This is why he's just doing like review videos of other investigations and things. But as soon as he puts any more paranormal stuff up, it's fair game. We will debunk him because none of it was real. Got a dry throat now. Mr. Rough Dog. Get into landscape mode instead of portrait too. I'm not moaning. Just feedback. Yeah. Is that what I'm in now? I'm actually off a webcam now. Does it look all right now? I figured out how to do it on YouTube because we haven't been doing a lot of lives on YouTube. I normally, what I need to do is before I start the live, because it's on a mobile phone, turn your phone sideways before you press go live, and then it seems to do it. I've just got to remember to do that. Ben buddies up with anyone Beardo debunks, says Creepy Doll. Yeah, I kind of figured that one out. We would have to speak on the phone beforehand, as I would need to tell you what you would be meeting if you interested. Yeah. I'll mention it to Tony, Mark Vernon, and we'll have a chat. I'll have to contact Tony first. Yeah, it looks fine. Landscape on your phone. Yeah. Okay, cool. It's fine. Excellent. Hi, Stephen. Yeah, so, I mean, this was just a quick live just for everyone, for me to catch up with people's questions, what have been sent through YouTube and on Messenger and Facebook. So I hope that answered, or this video has answered a few of those questions for you. Is there any more questions before I shoot off? Mr. Rough Dog saying, Smugpuppy deserves no apology or attention. He made it personal in his fight back. Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time he's done that to us, to be honest. He did it on TikTok in a few videos. And the thing what we kept doing was just keep exposing him, keep debunking him. That just angered him even more. He wanted us to fight back and start an argument with him, but we didn't do that. We just took the moral high ground and just kept debunking his videos. Like I say, he's admitted it. It's just entertainment now, so we've kind of backed off. Tina, Mark Vernon asked something. Yeah, we'll be in touch. You'll have to message us or something, because I do need. I'll talk to that about that location to Tony first, because obviously there's two of us in PSI. So I do hope that everybody is going to join us on Friday. If we don't get to this private location on Friday, we will be somewhere as long as the weather's fine. We've got a few graveyards we wanted to examine. I've just been notified, says Shandy. Right, okay. Anyway, thanks everybody so much for joining me and having a chat with me this evening, or this morning, wherever you are in the world. Yeah, it's been cool just to catch up. So we'll have to do it more often. Do it on a Wednesday, maybe. Oh, Shannon's just been notified that I'm live. Right, okay. I'll have to make it for a regular time on a Wednesday or something, won't I? Just to, because obviously not everybody's getting notifications. Lisa says she'll be there on Friday. Love the Friday lives. Excellent. Mr. Rough Dog, thanks, Mike. I'll try and be more quiet next time. No, don't worry about it. Ask away. That's what it's about. Bye Shandy. Bye Ellie Bell. Bye Mr. Rough Dog. Bye Rachel, Babs, and Tina. Creepy Doll. Take care. And I'll hopefully see you on Friday. Have I missed anyone? Never be quiet, Mr. Rough Dog. Exactly. That's what Rachel Linmod is saying. Bye and good night, everybody. Have a cool rest of the week. Take care.